I guess there was some incident at a show that you guys played in Tampa where somebody actually got stabbed to death in the pit. Were you aware of that? Or I'm sure you're probably aware of that. And whatever.
Yeah, we were aware of that, and we stopped playing, and that was kind of a drag. That was apparently unrelated to the event we were at. We were performing at, but yeah, it was just by coincidence happened to be two people who were tattoo artists. One of whom, the one who was murdered by this other jackass, you know, sounded like a really decent guy, to say the least. You know, sounded like a really awesome guy. And I don't know what transpired between them, whether there was some prior issue or it was really just, you know, you stepped on my foot,
right,
type of thing. But yeah, that was really, you know, it was really a drag.
Now, I'm always curious when awful stuff like that happens, does that end up being a problem for the band as far as do you end up getting sued, or does the club sue you, or the families, or any of that?
I'm certain that could happen. I'm certain that could and does happen. That didn't happen.
That's cool.
You know, to put you know, terrible on top of really
right.
awful. Yeah, no, there was nothing like that occurred, thankfully.
Sure.
That would have been really the icing on the cake.
Yeah, no kidding. That would not be cool, man. Definitely not. Well,
but, you know, I mean, you know, I don't know, in a situation like that, who is responsible for security, and how much security do you want to endure at a show, and how much do we as a band who's going to have a rock show or play somebody else's rock show, or we as a society, how much security do we want to have? How much do we want to change our, you know, the way we roll, the way we have fun, just because the possibility of some person who's not right doing something like that, you know? I mean, you see that concept all around, you know? So
sure. Yeah, it's definitely a
the
drag.
person, you know, the survivors of this one particular dude who lost his life completely senselessly because of some jerk, you know, kind of saw,
right,
kind of felt that, you know, going the legalistic type of way was not really what they believed in. But, you know, you can always make a case that somebody didn't do enough. You know.
Right. Sure. Well, but it's hard. It's always, you know, I always find it just like the Randy Blythe thing, and that's why I bring it up, is because, you know, Randy Blythe had that incident, and he was held, obviously, in wherever it was, the Czech Republic. And, you know, I mean, Randy's just on stage performing, and, you know, somebody jumps up in his face, he pushes him off, and then he's, you know, presumed guilty. You know, it just doesn't make sense how the bands who are just basically doing their job, more or less, you know, could be perceived as guilty in a situation like that.
Yeah, that was a little extreme, and that had people, you know, we were just about to go play shows in the Czech, which is a really awesome place, one of the best places in Europe you could go play, and one of the best places to live and create or anything like that. And so what you had, I mean, you had just a couple of officials who decided this was the way to go, a couple of people in the prosecutor's office or the police or something, and they held him up. But when it finally went to a court for his hearing, then reason prevailed, and, you know, they let him go. And I think when it comes to an actual trial, that you know, justice will be served, and that their courts will show that they're not, you know, this dark Eastern European place that,
right,
you know, maybe these couple of officials. And